In today's video, I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to ask Source, I wanted to ask my guides how we in this frequency can shift into the highest possible timeline for ourselves, to become one with our blueprint, with who we are meant to be once we let go of everything that is not in our frequency, everything that is not your true self. I'm gonna be closing my eyes for this one, and let's see what we get. I never done this before on video, but this is how I get usually my writing and my music through as well. I have a video that I'm gonna link below. It's named How to Receive Messages from Source, and if you want to try this method, you're free to go ahead. In order to become one with our true self, we need to realize we are already one with our true self. We need to realize that we are already here at the highest possible timeline. The timeline, in a way, is a construction, because you are now in the present eternal moment, and where you are just now is where you're meant to be. But it's the perception you have of yourself and what you're doing now in the present moment that feels like an expansion of your days. It is that construction in your mind, that limitation actually, that restricts your way of perceiving and seeing the world. So the codes for this are trust, but this trust has to be an inner trust. It's not that you say that you trust, and then when you look inside, you're feeling like you need to control everything, and you feel a lack of personal power because you're not trusting and you want to control. So the first key to shift into your highest timeline is to realize that there's no shift when you are already that version of yourself that resides in the highest timeline. For that, you need to absolutely trust that you are there. So you're not wanting, you're not expecting, you are. The second one will be to be and live without any discordance internally. And I know this might seem like a process in our time, but it can actually happen instantly. Because the minute you sense the resistance, you have the awareness of that resistance, that's the minute you can't let it go. And then you're here. So that shifting, if you're here, you get that resistance, you let it go, you're still here. The resistance is coming from, if you will, to make it simple, from below, but you're here. So inner resistance is what you were conditioned to believe is necessary for you to be safe, because you always had to push, you always had to work hard, you always had to be one with your circumstances. But that's the third point. Your circumstances are created by your mindset, and what you focus expands. So just remain here, and every discordance again, sense that is not part of you. So in a way, it feels like the old way of being is drowning over here and you are stabilizing. So these are the most powerful points I'm getting so far. I'm gonna open my eyes now and so every time I do this, I'm on my own and I usually write down or just record. But when I do that, then it feels like I cannot share it because it's something sort of outdated, if you will. So this is how I sense my own evolution, if you will, or my own eternal present moment, just like yours. But this connection comes strongly through source, and whenever I find something that I recorded previously, it just doesn't feel right to share it because of, as I was saying, that being part of a process that has already not happened, but I have sensed. Because things happening was just an illusion in accordance to where I was coming from, meaning I was sensing that as a person, as my construction, but that's the internal perception, and the shifts are happening all of the time. So I sense we are truly in a different space now when it comes to the frequency. But you have to, it's not that you have to do anything, but you sense it differently. And this is probably the most powerful thing I'm getting just now. I feel like my whole body now is like full of electricity. And what's coming through is that you have such powerful energy within you. I'm getting the goosebumps and so if you truly trust in yourself and stop pushing against your own self, trying to go back to things that no longer work, and you know that by being yourself, by holding this frequency, you are supported, you're loved. Personally, I've been doing some work the past few weeks. I was sort of, it was a bit painful, to be honest. I was going through things that happened in the past. I believe this has to do with the energies just now, and retrieving some information and things that I've experienced, but I would see that almost as a movie on a different channel. I had to switch the channel to see what's going on. I went through a really intense awakening for like a year or so, and before that awakening, I was thought that I was going crazy. I was going, that I was almost dying, if you will. But it was my construction that was dying. But everything that I would do, and even how my body would feel, was trying to bring me back. And since I was no longer able to hold that old frequency, I would have panic attacks, and that would last forever. So the message I got at that time is that the moment I would shift to the other side, I would try to tell my old self and anyone in that particular situation or circumstance that, again, is not real, but if you're sort of trapped within that, it feels so real because you haven't actually felt the other side. That I would leave a message, like leave a trace for my old self. And by doing so now, that I'm no longer that version of myself, was quite painful. But I have been doing some videos in order to come back from a panic attack, from anxiety and things that feel really real when you're going through them. But all you need sometimes is a shift of perspective, saying you are fine, you're all right, you're being taken care of. And this is really important and really subtle to know that a shift of perspective will also heal you instantly. But we tend to look back for that version of ourselves that has the issue, the condition, the illness, the pain. But what I'm getting just now is that the pain is not real. In this frequency, the pain is not real. So the more you remain in this frequency, that thing that I was telling you about that's trying to hit you, that's trying to come at you, has no longer access to you. But again, it's with trust and with knowing that you are here already, that the quantum shift happens and you can remain in this frequency. And this is probably the most important information I can get just now. Know that you're already healed. You think and act from the frequency that you are stabilizing or that you have never experienced before, but you can sense it. If you're here, you're sensing this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So trust. And let's leave from this space. It is really powerful what's coming through, and I thank you so much for being here and resonating with this. The other key is being authentic, 100% yourself. Not doing anything that feels slightly even off. And the things you need to keep on doing in your life, re-evaluate if you're actually doing them out of fear, out of habit, or out of passion and alignment. Because you can restructure your life, but you're not doing the restructuring. It happens naturally. For you. In this timeline. Even if you wanted to control it, you can't. You can just sense it and remain there. But you have to remain. You have to do that sort of subtle work. I thank you so much for being here. And I see you in the next one.